Welcome back indeed. We have Nick Willey from Church Militant to give us an update on the news. This is your first time with us, Nick, so I want to give you a warm welcome, brother. I've seen you, and I'm happy to see such a young man on fire for the faith. So welcome to the Terry and Jesse Show.
Well, thank you so much, Terry. How are y'all today?
Too blessed to be stressed, Nick, and too anointed to be disappointed. And if hope was money, I'd be a billionaire, brother. I'm glad to have you here. Tell us a little bit about what Church Militant's going to give us and the news tonight. Give us a teaser, if you will, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the big things we're going to talk about tonight, so this guy, Pedro Gonzalez, he's an editor and writer for Chronicles magazine. Mm-hmm. He had a report that recently came out called The Transgender Leviathan, and it goes into some of the faulty science behind the transgender movement and just where the money is coming from. Because, you know, with all these things, it's always about the money. Where's the money coming? Where's it going? And so that's one of the big things we're going to talk about tonight.
Nick, in that situation, we brought up the ex-trans woman who launched an $850,000 lawsuit against the medical people because they wanted to remove her breasts. And it seems to me that that's also going to play a role to stop this if we follow the money, like you just said, but also if people start suing these medical firms and these doctors, I think that might get their attention. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they had a lawsuit to hide the fact that they were giving these kickback to these doctors.
Yep.
Because we know ourselves right now that there's no one performing these gender surgeries or abortions. Mm-hmm. None of these doctors are good people. None of them care.
Yeah.
They're all evil people in it for the money,
exactly.
In it for whatever fame, prestige, whatever they have to do to sell their souls.
Amen.
They're in it for all that. They're not in it to help a single one of them.
Yeah, Nick, why don't you really tell me what you think, brother? I love it. Nick, what else do you have going for us tonight?
Yeah. So Italy was actually they were looking at subsidizing Catholic marriages to the tune of 20,000 euros for a couple to get married, because they actually have one of the lowest marriage rates in all of the world.
Yeah.
And a surprise is that the Pontifical Academy for Life, the head Archbishop Paglia, is actually one standing against this.
Yeah, that's a scandal, man. That's scandalous.
Yeah, so he talked about how it shouldn't be just for Catholics. It should be for everyone. The Muslims, all the families should get this. We're not just going to do this for Catholics. That would just be scandalous to actually help Catholics get married, to promote the family from the Pontifical Academy of Life.
You know, Nick, I'm going to tell you something that you're going to probably be shocked about, but you're not going to say, you're right, Terry. I really question what these guys really believe in a lot of these pontifical schools that they're in Rome, because the things they say are so contrary to what the Catholic faith teaches. I have to ask them, who do they think Jesus Christ is? You know, Buddha? Another Buddha or something? Because I think they've lost the supernatural aspect of the faith, because they say things that are so worldly that you go, well, wait a minute, I thought we were followers of Christ, not of the world. So that's my take on people like that. Why they would say, well, you know, it's like we're not different than anybody else. Are you kidding me? Do you believe in the uniqueness of the Catholic faith? Yes or no? That's my question to these bishops.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to read something he said, because I think that most people won't even, they'll just look right past this when they read about it that we said. But Paglia actually had this to say.
Put your seatbelt on.
He said, for the church, marriage is a sacrament, and a sacrament cannot be bought, which is totally true.
Yeah,
but this is the same church that at every single wedding is committing simony.
Yeah.
They're charging you for
of course
the church is charging you for all the sacraments, but for this specific bill that could be passed for 20,000 euros to actually help people to get started, to get married, to start a family and all, that apparently that's buying a sacrament. But charging them these fees for marriage, for the church itself, for the choir, for all these things, that's not anything to worry about. But the government wanting to help out and actually help families, that's going too far. That's a sin. Great
point. He reminds me of the Democratic Party, but that's just me on the side. All right, Nick, what's the last topic you got for us, brother?
Yeah, so we have Pennsylvania's Rep. Scott Perry. He's the House Freedom Caucus chair. He
Republican, right?
after yeah, Republican. After all the backlash that he's getting, he's informed us that he regrets voting yes to the Respect for Marriage Act.
I hope he makes some reparation for it, because that was a big mistake for him. Wow.
Yeah. It just goes to show you, it's like, I wonder what he would have said if he wasn't getting all this backlash. He tries to say that, we weren't given time to really examine it, and we were told by the Democrats, if we don't vote yes for this, we're going to be labeled as racist because we don't want interracial marriage. If we say no, then it's going to get rid of interracial marriage. And so that's the smoke screen that a lot of these guys are hiding behind. They don't want to come out and tell you that, we're just liberals too. There's always some kind of thing like that. The Democrats said we'd be racist.
Yeah, really. Hey, Nick, let me ask you this. A lot of our folks want to be participating in the resistance of issues that happen at their local parishes. And I know Church Militant has a good program to join. How can they do that?
Yeah. So you can go to our website. You can go to the resistance tab on it. You'll be contacted by some of our guys, great guys, Alex, Joe, Ronan. They've set up a lot. Like, we have a lot in the works that people don't get to see all the time. It's normally more secret things that we don't publicize until after they've happened, just because if the dioceses or whatever knew what was coming, they would try to put a stop to it. But there's a lot of great initiatives going on all the time, and that's one thing that we've been big about, particularly this year when we had our call to action conference, is that everything is a grassroots thing. We can't really do anything about a lot of the things that are happening at the top. We can't change the president's mind. We can't change the Pope's mind, but we can do things in our communities, in our parishes, that will actually make more of an impact. And so that's the whole point of resistance, is the local arm, because that's where your day-to-day life is going to be most affected.
Nick, one more plug I'd like to give you guys. For $10 a month, your premium that people give to Church Militant, they're going to have access to a lot of catechetical teachings. Can you tell us a little bit what they get with that?
Yeah, so we have just an amazing archive, an amazing library of videos that particularly Michael's done, things that spent hours researching, and it's things like climate change, what is really behind it, things like Freemasonry. We have hours on that. We have hours on every topic, whether it's things that are attacking the church, whether it's what is the faith, how can we promote it, where are things in scripture. There are shows for everything. Instead of going to watch a movie that you're just going to see, it's just going to be, basically porn and vulgarity all the time when you go to the movie theater, or watching shows that are going to promote, the latest transgender things or anything like that. You can watch these things that will actually spiritually uplift you and help you to fight the culture. There are thousands and thousands of hours of great things that we've put up there that people have full access.
And Nick, I think of the little flower when she said, we have only short moments of this life to work for God's glory. The devil knows this, and that is why he tries to make us waste time in useless things, the things you just mentioned. Okay?
Yeah.
She says, let us waste not any time. Let us save souls. Souls are falling into hell, innumerable as the flakes of snow on a winter day. Jesus weeps instead of consoling him. We are brooding over our own sorrow. So basically, we need to get into the fight, and I think that's what Church Militant's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can't be a saint right now, you're never going to be one. If you don't take those steps right now, you have no idea when the Lord is going to call you home. We have the world is going crazy, and
Absolutely.
whether you get taken out by the woke mob or whether divine intervention eventually comes in, eventually the good and the bad alike are going to have a lot coming to them. And so you have to prepare yourself right now. In any day, things could go crazy. And are you ready to meet the Lord right now?
Absolutely. Last time I looked, Nick, nobody gets out alive. We're all going to face that exit interview. Nick, I want to thank you for your first time being on the Terry and Jesse show. We look forward to more times in the future, and I wish you and your family and your crew a very happy Thanksgiving, and keep up the good work, brother.
Thanks, Terry. Happy Thanksgiving. God bless.
Bless you. Thanks again.